I'm Mina Freed with CNETnews.com here on the campus of Stanford University in Palo Alto, California, where a short while ago Bill Gates spoke to a group of students on the promise of technology as well as some of the challenges it will need to solve in terms of global health and education. Just a few moments ago, I had a chance to sit down with the Microsoft chairman and talk about some other issues, including the company's plan to give away its developer tools to college and high school students throughout the country and throughout the world, as well as the company's massive bid for Yahoo. Microsoft is giving away its programming tools to students. Do you think this will help regain some of the energy that's moved towards open source development projects?
Well, actually, the percentage of professional developers that are using Microsoft tools is higher today than it's ever been. Now, many of those professional developers use quite a variety of tools. They'll use Visual Studio, but they'll use other things as well. We have some new tools that are entrants with some innovative ideas like Expression for the design community that we're just now catching on. But in terms of getting it out to the other departments outside of computer science, where a student can just go and get Expression or just go and get Visual Studio, that hasn't been really easy for them to do. So now making this directly available to students, even down to the high school students, we think will let people do neat things at a young age. It includes the developer kit that we have for Xbox development. It's stuff for designers. It's quite broad in terms of things that are there.
Do you see the university fundamentally changing to where maybe the lectures aren't delivered locally and everything's sort of the discussion section that used to be separate?
If you're a university that decides, hey, let's do those study groups super well, and then leverage the top 100 to actually have that lecture piece. And you already see that with textbooks. Not every university goes and writes their own textbooks, but for the lecture piece, they basically recreate those things. So even universities are going to have to look at kind of a digital environment as reordering things, just like companies have had to reinvent themselves and think about new things as the digital age has come along. Now there's an opportunity here to make education, which is super important, far more effective than it is today.
Do you think we're entering a world where we'll have fewer professional content creators and more amateur content creators producing better and better stuff?
There'll still be demand for, say, an MIT education, although the impact of their lecture work is much broader. So you can call that a business model where the concert, the in-person concert, is sort of paying for things in the equivalent of the CD. In this case, most of them have decided to make them free. Now, if they happen to have a textbook, maybe they'll get a little bit of uptick in sales because of that. This is the kind of thing we have to experiment with. It is important to have incentive systems, recognition and payment to drive the most creativity possible, and we're going to see what that ends up looking like in a number of realms.
Microsoft historically has not done huge acquisitions. They've added technology here and there. You guys are talking about doing basically by far your biggest ever if you buy Yahoo. What was it that you saw that said, yeah, no, this is something where we really need to go out and spend a considerable amount of money to do what we need to do?
Yeah, our history of acquisition, Vizio at $1 billion, Great Plains at somewhat more than that, Navision, and then Aquana at $6 billion. You know, those are the gigantic acquisitions. We've been more about hiring people and doing in-house development, although we've always layered in some smaller acquisitions to help us get things done more quickly. So the Yahoo proposal is a very unique thing for us. Looking at our competition with Google that we're very committed to in any case, and saying this would really help that in a very substantial way, that the combination of our engineering, their engineering, plus the good presence they have, that would accelerate the ability to have a very competitive market in what's a growing area.